This was studied originally by Helmholtz back in the 1880s. The experiment that he was doing was quite simple, to look at a big board with different numbers or different letters, as in this case, and trying to focus on this particular area, and then trying to see if he could sample also information from other parts of the area and record what's going on. So he could basically move his attention even though he didn't move his eyes as such. So by moving his attention, he could sample other information. This has also been shown in animal experiments in which recordings have been made from different nerve cells in the visual areas. So basically, if you have a neuron in the visual areas of the cortex which respond to, for instance, a red bar, as in this case. So basically a cell which will, whenever light is, red light is shown in this direction, horizontal direction, this cell will start to discharge. And if you direct the attention of the monkey, which you can do by giving it a reward whenever it's paying attention to this particular area, then you can see that when the attention is on that object, you get quite a lot of activity in that nerve cell. But if you have the monkey paying attention to another visual object, as in this case a vertical green bar, then even though you're sort of showing the same visual picture to the monkey, you get much less activity in the cell. So you can even have a monkey moving the attention from one part of the visual scene to another part of the visual scene, even though it's fixating its gaze at this point in all cases. It's moving the attention to different areas. Yes?
What is the difference from frame 1 to frame 2?
Frame 1 and frame 2 is a different orientation of the stimulus.
But there's nothing different in the response?
As far as I recall, this is a neuron which only reacts to the color. So it doesn't really matter whether it's in one or the other direction. It's a color neuron. So I don't think it makes a difference. Why didn't that work? Oops. So relatively similar experiment which has been done in human subjects, following up basically on Helmholtz experiment, the experiments in the monkey, but here using imaging, asking subjects to pay attention to different parts of their visual image. So they're basically seeing a visual image like this, blinking lights in different orientations like this, and they're seeing this all the time. But their task is then to pay attention either to this area, or to this area, keeping their fixation fixed. And in this case, you can see that different areas of the visual cortex are being activated when the subject pays attention to these different areas. So in other words, our attention, our ability to pay attention to different parts of the sensory input that we have actually has an influence, a physical influence on the activity in these parts of the brain, so that when we pay attention to this, we get increased activity in those areas in the visual cortex which receive input from that particular area. So it is really as a spotlight that we can move around and increase the information